get so pumped when I just know I've nailed it. Love, Hate, Love, Alice in Chains for Sujit Patak, Ethan Bradley, Guigio Second Oner, my Cyrillic friend Liev, Arian White, proof that if you request 18 million songs, you're going to hear your name a bunch of times per week. Hayden Walker, and extra special thanks to Mr. Jacob Nally, latest Patreon supporter of the club. Fellow Jacob, thank you so much. If you'd like to take our relationship to the next level and see what that's all about, the link, of course, will be in the description. Let's go. All right, step 1, detune your guitar. All the strings go down 1/2 step, so you'll have E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, E flat. If you don't know how to do that, I will link to my video on that in the description. Step 2, middle finger on G10, pointer finger on B9, and you're gonna pluck starting on open D, just down the strings, and then put your pinky finger on D12 and pluck D, G, open E. So, and then of course sometimes he continues with G, D, but not at the beginning, once the song goes on. And then the second half of this very interesting riff is take your pinky finger off, and we're going to leave these two and start with open E and pluck E, G, B, and then sometimes not. Do it if you want, leave it open, or play baby E12 with your pinky finger there. So E, G, B, E12, and then with your middle finger slide up to 14. You can abandon everything else, and then pluck B13, and then this little shape we're left with moves down 1 fret, and you play both those notes. So here we go. On the record, it's definitely E12, not E open. I was listening to Live at the Moor also, and sometimes it was E open, so either way you want to do that. Okay, getting into the verse, that guitar continues, but another guitar comes in and does this. Now the progression for that riff is at its most basic D minor, followed by E major, right? And the guitar 2 does this. D string 12th fret, G string 10th fret. Now that's a root and a minor third, so 2 notes, enough to say it's a D minor, and that G string goes down to the 9th fret, so. But then, when the progression changes to E, this D string is going to move to the 9th fret. Now that's a B note, the 5th note in the E major scale, but that creepy D's minor third is gonna stay, and you get this thing. It's awesome. So, and that G string's gonna do the same thing. And of course, every other time on the E1, the second one, it just goes. Awesome. Oh, super picky. Back to the intro riff. When you do the E1, definitely the last time I heard 12, 12, 13. So add that baby E string 12th fret in there whenever you feel like it. That's an E chord. If you picture your low E chord, you have open, open, 1, 2, 2, open. So it's that much of your root 6 major bar chord shape, your E major bar chord shape, but just the 3 high notes from it. Now I guess we call this the chorus when it starts to pick up, and what you do is put your fingers where they've been, most of this whole time, and pluck 3 open D strings, followed by 1 of the rest of the little chord there. Now, 1 open D string, followed by 1 chord, followed by 1 open D string, followed by 1 little chord, but we're going to move our little chord to 7/6, which is right out of our D minor chord, which would happen here. So 1, 2, 3, bop, 1 bop, 1 bop. Now 1, 2, back up here, 1 more, then do a slide, and then strum away. So really slow. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. One more time without the stray wrong string there in the bass. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. And then we're gonna go 3 open E's, back to position 1, now up to 14, 13, and then down to 13, 12. And then, every other time but the last time, Jerry chugs away on an E power chord. So you can do that here. If you do it here, you can have your open E string as well. So open 7, 9, or since we sort of left off here, you could do it here on 12 and 14 of the E and A strings. Whatever you find easiest. So here we go, one time. One more time. But the last time it rings out, like I said, but I wanted to do it for you. And it just hangs there. The solo. So here's the thing. I'm trying to place how you rectify a D minor and an E major. In no key do you have those two chords. In no mode of no key do you have those two chords together. So obviously there's a technique, and not that I think Jerry was like, oh, we'll do the blah blah blah. I don't, you know. But I think there's another Alice in Chains song that uses an E minor and an F sharp major, which would be the same relatively speaking. But so the solo and what scale he's using is the topic for another video entirely. Maybe its own Let's Learn Music Theory explanation. But the rhythm part for the solo is, again, at its very most basic, D minor, an E major. But if you want to make that more exciting, play your D power chord or your D minor here, and then do octaves walking up. So A string and G string is going to go to 7, 9, 8, 10, 12, 14 before you land on E. And if you do your E here and do it as a power chord, you can, for fun, I don't think they do this, but I like doing this, that creepy D's minor third moving down to the second that was going on in the verse riff. You can do it so like this. D, E octave, F octave, A, E. And then at the end it gets more chill, right? So I just kind of let a regular old D minor ring out, and then you can do your E suspended 4 to E regular, because Jerry mentions that, so to speak, in the solo. Bonus music theory section. So it's got to be D Dorian with the E as, which is the C major scale from D to D instead of from C to C. Let's learn music theory, folks. And then that E major represents C's major third, which is one of my favorite things, but C doesn't make an appearance in this song, but that explains the use of that F note over the E chord, which sounds really creepy because F does not belong in an E chord. It's not in the E scale, but it is in the C scale. F is. And so once you sort of, declare yourself in D Dorian, you're saying, I'm using the C major scale from D to D, so fair game if an F pops up. Yeah. Which brings us to the outro. That, by the way, was my, 15 seconds of just popped into my head as I was turning the camera off, of course. Anyways, power chord, G power chord, 3rd fret of the E string, and you're going to go slide up 2 frets, and and then 2 open E strings, followed by our same slide, and land on F sharp, the 2nd fret, and then put your middle finger on G3, and you're gonna tinkle down like Jerry loves to on the open strings that don't belong. So, and then the same rhythm, but this time we're going 2 to 3 and going down to 1. Same middle finger there. So, first half. And then from F, just down to E and hang on E, followed by D power chord. And that's the 4 pieces. Part 1. Part 2. Part 3. Part 4. And that's it for Love, Hate, Love. Alice in Chains. We should probably, visit that solo scale because it's really interesting at some point. But for now, that's it for Love, Hate, Love. Alice in Chains. Thank you so much for that request, guys. Thank you for being here. I hope that was helpful. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye. Oh my God, I forgot the really cool riff in the bridge. So it's after we go, or outro rather. It's A5, E7, 6, 5, 3. Incorporates E's blue note, the flat 5. Why it sounds so alright. Extra special bonus treat there for anyone who made it to the end of the video. Goodbye.